Welcome to Your 1%, the chat show on VOICESNVIEWS.com. A positive mind anticipates happiness, joy and good health. Negativity fills our mind with unhappy thoughts and actions. It has been proved that negativity poisons the blood. It requires a superhuman effort to overcome tragedy and begin the fight for survival. How is it possible for a young athletic man to have a positive attitude when he gets up one morning and finds that he's paralyzed neck down? Our guest today is Mr. Positive Indian. Meet Mr. Girish Gogia, who's going to share his amazing story with us. Welcome to Your 1%, the chat show, Girish. It's so wonderful to be here. This is your office, I believe.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so really beautiful. Very well made.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Tell me, Girish, what was college like?
Well, I did my civil engineering in the year 1985. I joined a college in Belgaum, that's in Karnataka. And by 1988, I was through with my engineering. I got back to Bombay and I realized that I had these very creative, artistic and innovative ideas coming out of me. And I thought it was time I gave a shot to something more creative rather than pursuing my engineering career. I believe that creativity cannot be learned at any school. I never went through any professional training as far as interior designing is concerned. I guess creativity comes from within. It's a gift of God.
Yeah.
And I just combined my creative skills and my ideas with the technical nuances that I learned at my civil engineering. I simply combined the two and I went ahead. I started taking up a lot of interior designing projects, and by the grace of Almighty, I successfully implemented all of them.
So, very young age to start a business. How old were you at that time?
I was just about 19.
I see, okay.
Yes, I was very young to start a business, no doubt. But I was a very ambitious boy right from childhood. I wanted to do a lot. And that's how I just went about doing things. I was very aggressive. And I started my business at a very young age, and God supported me. My parents supported me, and I just went about doing it.
So when you combined civil engineering and interior decoration, what were the early projects that you really took upon you?
I was very lucky that the very first project that I did in my life was the head office for Tips Cassettes and Records Company. They are into the creative field, they are into music, and I had a lot of these unique ideas, and I did a lot of music companies head office, right from Tips to Venus. I did the residence for the famous music director duo Nadeem Shravan. And that's how it just went on. I did a lot of showrooms, I did a lot of residences, offices, and just one after the other I did plenty of them. I also got the opportunity of traveling out of the country. Along with doing interior designing, I got into the business of importing timber into India from Africa. And I used to travel to plenty of countries in East Africa as well as West Africa looking for timber. And I traveled a lot of European countries, a lot of Middle East countries. And I must mention that I'm a travel freak, and God has created such a beautiful world. And right from childhood, I used to take this atlas in front of me and always dream that where am I going to travel all these countries. And God gave me the opportunity. I traveled almost 38 countries in my life.
Girish, when and how did this accident happen to you? Would you like to share something with us?
Yes. The Millennium was approaching, the year 2000. And me and my wife and a couple of friends, we all decided to usher in the Millennium. We all went to Goa. And I remember 29th of December, somewhere in the afternoon. I was always an ocean lover, and I used to go deep sea swimming and stuff like this. 29th of December in the afternoon, one miscalculated dive. I dived into shallow waters from a small little cliff on the beaches of Goa, and that's when I injured my spinal cord, and which was absolutely irreversible. There is no cure for a spinal cord injury anywhere around the world, and I was instantly paralyzed, and I had drowned. I only came back to consciousness after an hour or so, and I saw myself on the shore back again. And I was wondering, how come I reached the shore? I had drowned, because I could not swim back to the shore since my limbs were not functioning at all. And that's when I got to know. My friends informed me that there was this European tourist somewhere there. She saved me. She gave me mouth-to-mouth respiration, and that's how I came back to life.
Yes.
And that was the beginning of my second life. I was in hospital in Goa for the first 2 days, and then I was immediately shifted back to Bombay. I was in a hospital in Bombay for almost 20 days, and the doctors declared to me that spinal cord injury had no cure, and I had to accept this paralysis neck downwards for the rest of my life.
What was going on in your mind, Girish, at this age, such a young age?
I was under great shock. I simply could not believe that this could have happened to me. I was just 29 years old when this happened to me, and I was just 3 years married, and this was like a big blow in my life, and I couldn't take it. I was absolutely shattered, and I had these thousands of negative thoughts crossing my mind each day, lying down on the hospital bed like a vegetable, could not move an inch on my own.
How long did it take you to start thinking about getting back to a normal routine?
I was always a very ambitious man. I always knew that it's so important to think big, to dream big, and to chase those dreams. I was always a very hard-working man. I never said die. Come what may, show must go on. That I can do spirit was always there in me right from childhood. I think it came into me from my parents. And all these thoughts were crossing my mind. That Girish, with this paralysis, how are you going to achieve your goals? How are you going to fulfill your dreams? How are you going to fulfill your responsibilities? You simply cannot escape all these responsibilities. Whatever may have happened to you, you still have to fulfill these responsibilities. Yes, there were thousands of negative thoughts crossing my mind, and I simply didn't know how to start and where to start from.
What was the inspiration behind your turning into a positive person?
Right from childhood, I had read about many leaders and many achievers in life. For example, Mahatma Gandhi, Stephen Hawking, Superman Christopher Reeves. All these people were people with sheer determination, and they were people who always achieved what they wanted to. Christopher Reeves, I remember, was in a similar condition as I am in. He was neck downwards paralyzed after meeting with an accident. Stephen Hawking, suffering from motor neuron disease. is completely paralyzed. He moves around the world. He still continues to do his research work, and that's simply amazing. He's so positive in life. I remember Mahatma Gandhi. My perspective of looking at Mahatma Gandhi was absolutely different. I always saw a lot of positive energy in that man. I always saw him full of positive attitude. His thought process was so positive. He was so determined to achieve freedom for this country. He was the first one to start, and then millions of people joined him, and finally he achieved what he wanted to. So that's simply amazing. And I knew that nothing was impossible in this world. My mind was functioning. My speech was intact. My liver and kidney was intact. My vital organs were absolutely functioning perfectly. Of course, my bladder is not functioning. My bowels are not functioning. My hands don't work, fingers don't work, legs don't work. But I finally decided, Girish, you cannot give up. You have to fulfill your responsibilities, come what may. I remember as a child, my father always used to say, a successful captain is the one who gets the ship to the shore. The owner of the ship and the people are least interested to know how many storms the captain and the crew of the ship faced in the middle of the ocean. What matters was results. What matters was you get the cargo onto the shore successfully. You get the ship onto the shore successfully. You may have, the captains and the crew of the ship may have faced a lot of difficulties in the middle of the Pacific and Atlantic. But how does it matter? Nobody's interested to hear those stories. So I knew people are not interested to know what I'm going through. Paralysis was my problem. What mattered was the results. And I had to perform. I had no choice. I, with a smile, accepted what had happened to me. I used to speak to myself for hours together. And finally I decided that I am going to still achieve all my goals before I depart this world.
You were telling us about the examples set by great people whom you admire, like Mahatma Gandhi, Stephen Hawking, and Christopher Reeves. How do you plan to adapt those ideals to your life and to your future?
11 years being bedridden and suffering with these disabilities and fighting all kinds of adversities. I always used to ask myself a question. 11 years and I'm still alive. I'm still living life with a smile. There has to be something. There has to be some plan. God has a plan for me. And I used to talk to myself for days together. But Girish, what is it that God wants you to do? I knew that this positive attitude, this positive approach towards life, looking at the brighter side of life, always focusing on the factors that are for you rather than the factors that are against you. That was the things that I was doing, and I finally realized that yes, these are the things that actually turned my paralysis into my strength. And it was my duty. I felt it was my moral responsibility as a human being, as a citizen of this country, that I must share this positive thoughts, this positive attitude with as many lives as possible. I think this was a thought that came into my mind. God wants me to do this. I made it as a mission, the mission to spread the power of positive thinking across the globe. And since then, I have been visiting a lot of places, and I have been talking on the subject of positive thinking. I have been sharing my real life experiences with a lot of people, and it really charges the batteries of a lot of people. A lot of people send me emails, a lot of people give me phone calls saying that they got inspired and my example was a turning point in their life. And I get eternal happiness when I hear that. God gave me the opportunity to touch a few lives, to light up a few lives before I depart this world. So that's how I started with my mission of spreading the power of positive thinking. And I'm not going to stop. Nothing can stop me now. I'm going to travel all over the world, sharing my experiences and spreading this positive attitude.
Girish, there are so many people who have everything, but they are not content with what they have. And there are also many in your circumstance, they are in with similar problems. What is your message to them?
See, one dirty habit we all human beings have. We have these never-ending desires in life. It is so important to draw a line somewhere. It is so important to accept reality. We can't escape the complicated kind of situation that we live in today's world. Hectic work, meeting sales targets, and in fact traveling itself, the kind of traffic jams everywhere and people get irritated, frustrated. It's so important for all of us to live life peacefully and look at the brighter side of life. There is a 10-point mantra that I follow. These are the 10 points, these are the 10 important thoughts in my mind which I keep telling to myself, and that is what has been keeping me going. And I would love to share this with each and every soul. It is very important for us to have a very burning desire for what we want to do. Any kind of situation in life, however difficult it may be, is not as important as our attitude towards it. Point number 2 is never ever allow hardships and tragedies of the world to dominate you. Point number 3, it is important for all of us to focus on the factors that are for us rather than focusing on the factors that are against us. Why should we focus on the factors that are against us? Does it really make sense? Does it get us anywhere? Nowhere. So focus on the factors that are for us. Point number 4, it is important for all of us to have complete control on our circumstances and do not allow these circumstances to direct us. Before they start directing us, we should take control of the situation and rather we direct them. Point number 5, have complete belief in yourself. Have faith in the Almighty. Deal with the problem with peace of mind, with a lot of positive energy, and I'm sure nothing can stop you. I'm sure you will be able to achieve all the success that you desire. Point number 6, fill yourself with a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of energy. Be a die-hard optimist. Dream big, chase those dreams, and I'm sure you will achieve them. Point number 7. Now this is a very important thought. It seems we get 60,000 thoughts per day. Unbelievable. Sounds unbelievable, isn't it? But that's what scientists say. It is so important for us to monitor our thoughts. We get all kinds of thoughts, negative thoughts, positive thoughts. Please replace all those negative thoughts with the positive ones. And I'm sure you will turn into a powerhouse. You will be able to achieve absolutely everything that you want. Focus on your thoughts. Have a very positive thought pattern. Remember that every thought is like a brick in the wall. Every thought is like a building block of your life. A bad quality thought is like a bad quality brick in the wall. Similarly, a good quality thought is like a good quality brick in the wall. So why not think positive? Think positive and the results are going to be positive. I'm sure about that. Point number 8. Again, a very important point. Every reality in this world today, whether it's an aircraft, whether it's a space shuttle, whether it's skyscrapers, whether it's any kind of technology, any kind of thing, that everything that we see around, let's remember everything has started from a thought. A positive thought turns into positive words turn into positive action, and finally it's the positive outcome that we see. It's common sense. A negative thought is going to lead to a negative reality, and a positive thought is going to lead to a positive reality. So my dear friends, the choice is yours. Point number 9. We all know God is the source of all energy in this world. The energy in the universe, the energy in the sun, electrical energy, all kinds of energy. I think it is so important for all of us to be in synchronization with Mother Nature, to be in complete alignment with the laws of nature. Once we are in alignment with the positive energy in the universe, I'm sure all this positive energy is going to flow through your mind and body continuously, turning you into a powerhouse. Let us all remember that we are an amazing piece of technology created by God. We underestimate our own abilities. We can do a lot more than what we think we can. Just be positive, focus on what you want to do, and trust me, nothing is impossible in this world. Point number 10. If your circumstances have pushed you into a black hole and you cannot see light at the end of the tunnel, simply blast your way through with the power of positive thinking and see the magic. I think the greatest example of positive thinking, and I think the most positive people on this planet, are the Japanese. We all know what happened in Japan during the Second World War. They were completely devastated and they simply could not see any way out of this crisis. But I was surprised. I remember growing up, I saw Japan. I saw that small little country that grew into a superpower, that grew into economic power. And once again, Japan, a few months back, if everybody remembers, they faced this 9.5 magnitude earthquake followed by a tsunami. And I am sure those are the people who are the most positive people in the world. They have that I can do spirit in them, and I am sure they will stand up again and again be a huge economic power. So I think, yes, Japanese are a great example of positive people in this world. All of you out there, all those people who require a dose of positive energy, feel absolutely free. Do not hesitate. You can contact me on my email IDs, mrpositiveindian@gmail.com, and the other one is girishpositive@gmail.com. You could also add me on Facebook. I'll be more than happy to reply to your questions and fill you with all the kinds of positive energy that you require. Wish you all the best, wish you good luck, and God bless you.
Thank you so much, Girish, for this wonderful chat that we have had. I'm sure 100 people are going to be inspired by what you have told us. And we wish your motivational talks should reach everybody all over the world, because there is so much of need for this kind of thing. Thank you so much once again from Team VNV.
All my pleasure, all my pleasure. I would love to spread this positive thinking attitude with as many lives as I can.
Yeah, thank you.